Okay, so hey guys, haven't updated in a couple days. Been kind of busy. I am taking my board examination on Saturday, and it's Thursday. So, like I mentioned before, I am a medical student, and anybody familiar with the whole medical school thing, this is my step one exam. So I have finished all of my book work basically, and this is step one of three, step one, two, and three board exams that I have to take to be a board certified physician. So I will be taking my boards on Saturday, and so anybody who's been through medical school knows I am basically living in my books right now, and just kind of like freaking out. Well, not totally freaking out, but yeah. So, I'm going to be taking those on Saturday, so I haven't done too many updates so far. But as you guys know, I did get my loan for my tiny house, and I did do a video on kind of how I did that because it can be a little bit of a tricky process. And I was really successful, and my bank was really excited about it. So that's something kind of new. And there's definitely information there for you guys. And if you have any questions, please just let me know. I'm happy to share any information. Um, but this video is just kind of going to be like why I decided to go tiny. There's a lot of reasons to go tiny, and this is just going to be my reasoning as to why I went tiny. So I decided to go tiny. One, I should say I have kind of been obsessed with tiny houses for years. I think they're really cool. They're obviously adorable, but that's not a good reason to go tiny, FYI, just because they're adorable. But the reason I decided to go tiny, I'm a medical student, and for the next 2 years, I don't really have a set destination where I'm going to be living. Um, I will be placed for rotations, which is the next 2 years of medical school, and that is really me just going through all the different fields of medicine to kind of determine what do I really want to become board certified in. So, for the first year, the school that I attend will be telling me where I have to go. And for my school, I'm more than likely going to end up in California or Florida. As you guys know, those are really big tiny house areas. So for me, that kind of works out really well. Simon, that's enough. Sorry, the dog he's been outside 5 times this morning, and there's holes to dig, so it's just really exciting. But so I don't really have a set destination. So it's hard for me to purchase a house or a condo or an apartment in a specific location. And rent, if anybody who is renting recently, especially in Florida, California, New York, I was just recently there, so rent is insane. Absolutely insane. Way beyond insane. I, am looking at almost $2,000 a month to live not in high class areas. I don't need, the biggest, bestest apartment, but I do have 2 dogs. So for me, finding an apartment that is in a safe location is within my budget, which is not $2,000. Medical school is expensive. I don't know if anybody knows that. School period is expensive. Shouldn't be. That's a whole nother, I digress. But rent is astronomical. So for me to actually take out a loan, pay for the loan, pay for my land and also pay for any moving costs, to rent a truck to move it, to actually fly my, dad or my brother out to help me move it when I have to. Even if I move it I think I budgeted 4 to 5 times a year just to be safe. I don't think I'll ever move it that much, but just to be safe, that's how many times I budgeted in a calendar year to move it. And with paying for the loan, paying for the land, paying to move it, and my utilities, it is literally half of what I would be paying in rent in the locations that I will be at. So, or most likely be at. So, financially, it was really the smartest decision for me. Secondly, another reason I decided to go tiny was, as my family and friends sometimes like to call me, I am the hippie of the bunch. I'm not that much of a hippie. I, I do want to leave this earth better than better than how I found it. I try to do my part, recycling, using less water, trying to really cut back on the footprint that I leave. Because global warming's a real thing, and I would like, my children's children to have an awesome place to live because, there's so many amazing things in the world to see, and I don't want those destroyed because we need more energy. Because we have, a growing population, and that's just the reality of the situation. So, this is another way for me to make a smaller impact on the world. Obviously, the gasoline, that's a whole nother thing. But, eventually I want to do solar panels on my tiny house, allowing me to, get my energy that way. Whenever I get to really a set location, I want to do, some rainwater collection and, trying to use the water that is, locally available that I can put back into the earth and just, help that cycle go around. So, those were two big reasons for me to go tiny. The biggest was, financial. It's just so much, and it's so much more financially responsible for me. And, making a smaller footprint. And honestly, this isn't really, it's not a huge reason, but I don't actually like living in big places. I've done a lot of traveling throughout my time, and I've actually never had an apartment that was over 500 square feet. Once I did when I lived in Iowa. I did have a pretty big apartment then, and I really had no idea what to do with the space. Like, there was so much space, and hello cleaning, oof, God, it took forever. So anyways, I really enjoy living in tiny spaces, or smaller spaces than what I guess most people are accustomed to. I traveling, South America, I lived in the Caribbean for a while. You really, everything is at such a high demand that you really don't get that much for your money. And so I'm used to living in really small spaces and I really enjoy it. And so, tiny houses, it was just kind of like an automatic fit for me. People are like, oh my God, can you really live in that small of a space? And yeah, I've been doing it for, 7 years, 8 years now. So, to me, it's not that, it's small, don't get me wrong. You have to be creative with your space, but, to me, it's not really a huge adjustment. I don't have a lot of material possessions, just because I have traveled around so much, it's less to pack. Less to pack is a fantastic thing. My entire life can fit in my car, my little Subaru. Me and Goldie, we've gotten around a lot, and my entire life plus my 2 dogs can fit in my car, and I like it that way. So, yeah, for me, those were really the 3 reasons I decided to go tiny. For everybody it's different and it doesn't fit for everybody. And I'm not even going to pretend that, some people can go tiny. They can't, and that's okay. My brother and his wife, they with what their life requires of them, tiny is not an option. But for me and my two dogs, it's totally a viable option. So, it really works for some people and it doesn't for others, and that's totally okay, and I think that's great. So, yeah, my 3 reasons for going tiny: financially, huge reason for me. Um, it just makes so much more sense. Um, 2, being able to um, make a smaller environmental impact. Being able to leave this earth just a little bit better than what I found it. Um, I'm so excited about that. And 3, for me, I enjoy it. It's how I like living my life, on a smaller scale. So, just wanted to throw that out there for you guys. If you have any questions, of course, I'm gonna, keep updating through my journey building this tiny house. Signing papers. Actually, I have officially bought my tiny house. And the build starts next week, so it's getting kind of real. And my contractor, he's awesome. He'll have it done within a month or two, just because he has, the facility and, guys working for him. So it's really great. But again, if you guys have any questions, any comments, please just let me know. Happy to answer anything I can. Not an expert in anything, just kind of got a little bit of knowledge here and there. So again, any questions, just let me know, and I'll be happy to get that information to you guys. Talk to you later.